Okay, so let's think about this. What if everything you've been taught about saving for retirement,
Yeah.
what if it's actually stopping you from living your best life now?
That's a provocative start.
Right. And what if the goal isn't, to die rich, but to actually die with zero?
That's the core of it, is it?
Exactly. Today, we're diving into a philosophy that pretty much flips conventional wisdom about money, saving, wealth.
Yeah,
It turns it completely upside down.
it really does.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission today: explore Die with Zero. Optimize life, not just wealth, by Bill Perkins.
It's a fascinating book.
We'll look at why dying with a huge bank balance might, mean you've lived poorly,
Counterintuitive, but yeah.
how to spend more strategically throughout your life, and find practical ways to really maximize life satisfaction.
So prepare to question maybe everything you thought you knew about personal finance.
Definitely.
And it's such a compelling idea, especially considering who it's coming from. Bill Perkins, he's not your typical financial guru,
Not at all. He didn't make his money selling advice.
Right. He's a hedge fund manager, a high-stakes poker player. We're talking hundreds of millions.
So his message isn't really about selling you something.
No, it feels more like it's born from his own sort of observations and experiences with, extreme wealth.
Absolutely. This isn't just theory for him. I mean, he lives large.
Oh, yeah. Expensive cars, big vacations, the whole luxury lifestyle.
But he noticed something, a kind of flaw among many of his incredibly wealthy friends.
That's the key observation he makes. Seeing these peers accumulate just enormous fortunes, but then live, as he puts it, like they were poor.
Wow. So they denied themselves things and their families.
Experiences, opportunities.
Yeah.
And the tragic part, some died with tens of millions just sitting there unspent.
Never actually converted that money into life.
Exactly. And that hit him personally, too.
Right. He had his own realization, didn't he?
He did. He realized he was falling into that same pattern, just endless accumulation. And that led him to this insight. Money is just a tool. It's a mechanism, really,
A mechanism for what?
for converting our limited time into experiences, and maybe more importantly, into lasting memories.
That makes sense. Money buys you the time or the means for the experience.
Precisely. And that fuels his main point, his provocative thesis.
I guess.
The goal isn't dying with the most money. It's about having strategically used your money at the optimal time
Optimal times. Okay.
throughout your whole life to maximize your total life experience.
So it's not about being irresponsible.
Not at all. It's about being incredibly intentional, strategic, with resources that are, let's face it, finite. Time and energy, not just money.
Which brings us right to the problem with, traditional retirement planning.
Yeah, the standard advice.
The usual script is sacrifice now, save like crazy,
Defer gratification.
and then enjoy life way down the road in retirement. But Perkins sees a big flaw there.
A huge one. That adventurous trip you dream of taking at, say, 35?
Yeah.
It might be physically impossible, or at least way less enjoyable when you're 75. Your health, your energy, it's just different.
That really highlights the health-wealth-time correlation he talks about.
Exactly. When you're young, you typically have great health, lots of time, but maybe not much wealth.
Right. Then middle age hits.
Health is maybe moderate, wealth is growing, but time feels really scarce, right? Career, family.
Oh, totally. And then old age.
You've likely got the accumulated wealth, maybe more time, but often your health is declining.
So the traditional model basically asks us to wait until we're potentially least able to physically enjoy the rewards.
That's his critique. You defer experiences until the time when your physical capacity is diminished.
He calls this the die rich epidemic, which is quite a phrase.
It is, and he backs it up. He points to data showing the median 60-year-old dies with something like 80% of their wealth still intact.
80%? That's staggering.
It suggests widespread oversaving, and, the flip side of that is underliving.
Which lines up so well with those studies about deathbed regrets, doesn't it?
It really does. People consistently look back and regret the experiences they didn't have.
Not the money they spent on meaningful things.
Almost never. It's a powerful argument against just hoarding wealth instead of actually, living.
It completely reframes the question then.
How so?
Instead of just asking, how much money do I need for retirement?
Okay.
Perkins pushes us to ask, how can I optimize my spending across my entire lifetime to get the most life satisfaction?
Optimize across the whole lifespan. It's about being strategic, not reckless.
Yeah, and central to this is his concept of life energy.
Right. Explain that a bit.
It's not just about the money in your account. It's also having the health, the time, and critically, the capability to use that money meaningfully.
Create experiences.
Exactly. Think about it. When you're young, your life energy, probably high, even if you're broke.
Lots of energy, maybe less cash.
But as you age, even if your wealth grows, that life energy, your health and ability, often declines.
Which highlights his point about age-based experience curves. Well, different experiences really do have optimal age windows. That epic backpacking trip, probably best in your 20s or 30s, right?
Sure, physically demanding.
Cultural immersion trips might peak in your 40s or 50s. More peaceful, maybe reflective experiences, often better suited for later years.
So the key insight is, if you just delay everything,
You inevitably miss the ideal time for many of life's really great adventures. You can't just batch them all up for retirement.
and that leads directly into his net worth peak strategy.
Oh, yes, this is a big one.
Instead of trying to have the absolute most money the day you die.
Which is the implicit goal of traditional planning, often.
He says you should plan for your net worth to peak, maybe in your 60s or early 70s.
And then,
And then it should gradually decline as you intentionally spend it
Mm.
on experiences, on giving.
that's a fundamental shift, moving away from maximizing inheritance as the end goal.
So how do you figure out your peak? Sounds complicated.
It's personal. You need to consider your likely health trajectory, your life expectancy, the experiences that matter most to you, and when the best time for those might be. Your family situation, any obligations, your risk tolerance. It's a personalized calculation.
It connects to that economic idea too, right? Diminishing returns.
Diminishing marginal utility, yeah. Research consistently shows the happiness boost you get going from, say, $1 million to $2 million is way smaller than the jump from $50,000 to $100,000.
So once your basic security is covered.
Piling up more money yields less and less actual life improvement. That excess, Perkins argues, should be strategically deployed, not just hoarded.
But again, just to be clear, the practical side isn't about blowing all your money tomorrow.
Absolutely not. It's intentional, multi-decade planning. It's constantly asking, is this the optimal time in my life, considering my health, energy, and finances, to spend on this experience?
That timing element seems crucial, especially when thinking about the value of experiences.
He has a whole concept around that, too.
The experience decay principle.
Well, he talks about how experiences provide more lasting satisfaction than things that's backed by psychology, but it takes it further.
How so?
He argues experiences provide different kinds of satisfaction that actually compound over time.
Okay, like interest. How does that work?
He calls it the memory dividend. Think
Right.
about it. You buy a car, you get utility from driving it, but an experience. You get the anticipation before, the enjoyment during, and then the memory after.
And the memory lasts.
And not only lasts, it often gets better. Great experiences appreciate in value as they become cherished stories you tell and retell. That's the dividend.
And he mentions a sharing multiplier too.
Yes, that family vacation when the kids are, say, 12 and 14,
Okay.
those shared moments build bonds, create common memories that provide value for decades. They become part of your family's story.
That really underscores the time sensitivity of experiences.
Hugely sensitive. Unlike money in the bank, you can't just do any experience whenever. Backpacking across Europe at 25 is fundamentally different from doing it at 65.
Or that fishing trip with your kid when they're 10 versus when they're 25.
Exactly. You miss that window, it's gone. And think about the compound effect of early experiences.
Like learning a skill.
Right. Learn to ski at 30, you potentially get 40 plus years of enjoyment, skill development, social connection.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I know I've definitely fallen into that trap of thinking, I'll do X when I have more time or when I have more money.
The experience delay trap. Perkins tackles that head on.
What does he say?
He argues that the perfect time almost never arrives. And the cost of delaying, of missing the optimal window, is often far greater than the cost of doing it imperfectly now.
So he offers that mental exercise, that 70-year-old test.
Yeah, it's a practical one.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself at 70. Look back. What experiences would you truly regret not having had?
Right.
Then work backward from that. What do you need to do now or soon to make sure those regrets don't happen?
It forces you to prioritize based on potential future regrets. Okay, so let's get practical. How do we actually optimize money across our lifetime using this philosophy?
Well, it's shifting from that save, then spend model
Right.
to a lifetime spending strategy. Strategic, intentional spending throughout your life, aligned with your changing abilities and priorities.
He breaks it down into phases, doesn't he?
Yeah, roughly 3 phases. Phase 1, maybe your 20s to 40s. Focus on investing in experiences that build skills, relationships, core memories.
Like travel, education, building relationships.
Exactly. Adventure, career stuff, foundational relationships. Then phase 2, say 40s to 60s.
Peak earning years for many.
Right. So you're balancing current experiences with future security. You can likely afford both great experiences and save substantially.
And phase 3, 60s and beyond.
Optimize for comfort, convenience, and sharing, making life easier, maybe creating experiences for family, using your resources to smooth the later years.
So it's like plotting a spending glide path for your life. How do you actually map that out?
You literally could. Think about budgeting by decade. Maybe your 30s have a higher adventure travel budget.
Okay.
Your 50s might prioritize comfortable cultural travel. Later, it might shift towards, I don't know, health support, helping grandkids, maximizing comfort.
You're deliberately allocating based on changing life energy.
Exactly. And he's not saying ignore security, maintain reasonable emergency funds, insurance. Treat some savings like an insurance policy.
But don't let fear paralyze you.
Right. Caution against oversaving just because of vague, hypothetical fears.
He has that exercise too, working backward from death.
Yeah, estimate your life expectancy, figure out roughly what you'll need at various ages leading up to that.
And that helps you see if you're on track to oversave or underlive.
It can be a real eye-opener. And for families, think about optimizing across the whole family system.
Meaning giving money earlier.
Potentially. Money given to adult children at 30 or 40 for a house deposit or education might have far more impact, more utility than the same amount inherited at 60 or 70.
It's a very different way of thinking about family wealth. But again, the key is intention, not recklessness.
Precisely. Strategic and intentional management across the whole lifetime.
Another really powerful idea in the book is about giving. Giving while living.
Yes, this ties into the inheritance point. He argues strongly for distributing wealth when you can see its impact.
And when the recipients can benefit most.
Exactly. Instead of just leaving large sums after you're gone.
It makes you question the whole timing of inheritance.
Totally. Traditional estate planning is all about the transfer at death. Perkins says, why wait? Why is that the optimal time?
Right. A 30-year-old might use that money for education, a house, starting a business.
Yeah.
Things that fundamentally change their trajectory.
Whereas a 60-year-old inheriting money might just, add it to their already substantial retirement accounts. The utility is different.
So practical examples could be funding college, grad school.
Down payments, seed money for a business, or even funding experiences for loved ones. A trip, maybe?
And for the giver, there's a benefit too, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. The engagement benefit. When you give while living, you get to be involved, maybe offer guidance, share the joy.
You see the impact directly.
Which is a satisfaction you simply don't get from posthumous giving.
Does the same apply to charity?
He argues yes. Regular, smaller donations during your lifetime allow you to engage with the cause, see the results.
Versus one large bequest at the end.
Right. It's about engagement and impact now. And even funding family experiences like big reunions or multi-generational trips.
He sees those as investments.
Investments in relationships, building that memory bank across the family, huge long-term value.
And briefly, there can be tax advantages too.
Sometimes, yes. Things like annual gift exclusions, paying tuition directly, charitable deductions. It's worth looking into, though that's not the main driver.
The main driver is optimizing the use of the money. But you still need to balance it, right? Keep enough for yourself.
Of course. It's finding that control balance. Give meaningfully, see the impact, but always retain enough for your own security and flexibility, especially in later life.
Okay, so let's pivot to making this real. Practical implementation. Where does someone start?
Perkins suggests a personal audit, but through this specific die with zero lens.
What does that involve?
Looking honestly at your current life energy, your health, time, capabilities, thinking about your time horizons, and really identifying your experience priorities.
Asking questions like,
what experiences are truly most important to me? When is the optimal time, realistically, for those experiences? And critically, what's actually stopping me from pursuing them now?
And to help prioritize, he uses that memory bank idea.
Yeah, framing experiences as deposits in your memory bank. Which ones will pay the biggest dividends in terms of cherished memories and stories down the line?
That's a great mental model. He also suggests creating experience buckets.
Right, just to help organize your thinking, maybe. Adventure physical stuff, best when younger. Cultural educational things, valuable anytime. Family relationship experiences, often very time-sensitive based on others' ages.
And comfort convenience upgrades.
Often more appreciated when you're older, perhaps. It's just a way to categorize and time things better.
And from there, you sketch out a kind of flexible spending timeline.
Exactly. Not a rigid budget you beat yourself up over, but a loose plan for major experiences and purchases. The goal is just to avoid accidentally missing those optimal windows.
Then you look at your current budget.
And do a reallocation review. Ask yourself honestly, am I oversaving for a distant, uncertain future while under-investing in my life satisfaction right now?
And consider shifting some funds.
Maybe. Even a small shift can make a difference.
If it feels like too big a leap, he suggests a trial run.
Yeah, the trial run approach.
Well,
maybe allocate just 5 or 10% of what you'd normally save towards strategic experiences for 1 year. See how it feels. Evaluate the impact on your happiness.
getting partners or family on board seems key too.
Crucial. This needs to be a shared philosophy, ideally. And maybe finding a financial advisor who actually gets this approach rather than just focusing on accumulation.
And finally, review it regularly.
Absolutely. An annual check-in on your life energy, your priorities, your spending patterns. Life changes, so the plan needs to be adaptable.
Okay, but this approach definitely raises questions.
Hmm.
Objections. The big one is always, what about emergencies?
Totally understandable. And Perkins is clear. You absolutely need reasonable emergency funds and insurance. That's non-negotiable.
Well,
But don't let the fear of maybe, possibly, needing a giant emergency fund someday stop you from living today. He argues most people oversave for unlikely worst-case scenarios.
while definitely missing out on experiences that won't come again.
Exactly. Balance prudence with living.
Okay, next objection. What if I live longer than expected? Longevity risk.
It's a valid concern, but Perkins would counter, what about the risk of underliving? His advice: use reasonable life expectancy estimates, add a buffer for comfort, but don't structure your entire existence around the absolute longest possible lifespan at the expense of living well now.
And besides, if you do live longer,
Having lived a richer life full of experiences and memories isn't exactly a bad outcome, is it?
fair point. Then there's the inheritance question. What about my kids?
A deeply ingrained desire, for sure.
His response.
Reiteration. Strategic giving during your life often provides far more tangible benefits to children than a lump sum after you're gone.
And they might need it less.
Right. And maybe even more importantly, he suggests children often benefit more from having parents who lived fully and happily.
Than from parents who sacrificed everything just to leave a bigger pile of cash.
Exactly. Modeling a life well lived might be the best inheritance.
What about the critique? This only works if you're already wealthy, like Perkins.
He addresses that. While his examples might involve large sums, the principles,
Experience timing, life energy, strategic spending.
they apply at any income level. It's
Okay.
about optimizing the resources you do have, whether that's $50,000 or $50 million. The scale changes, not the logic.
And the fear of economic crashes. What if the market tanks?
Downturns happen. They're usually temporary. With reasonable emergency funds and avoiding crazy risks, you can weather those storms without abandoning the goal of living meaningfully along the way.
So it really comes down to finding your middle ground, your optimal balance.
Yes, it's not spend it all versus save it all. It's finding the sweet spot based on your unique situation, your values, family, risk tolerance.
He offers that final decision-making tool, the regret minimization idea.
Right. Imagine yourself at 80, looking back at a choice you have now. Which would you regret more? Spending the money on a truly meaningful experience, or saving that money but missing the experience forever?
That puts things in perspective.
It really does.
So wrapping up our deep dive today, Die with Zero is really more than just a money book, isn't it?
Oh, much more. It's a blueprint for life optimization.
It challenges us to see money not just as a number on a spreadsheet, but as a tool.
A tool for creating experiences, for building memories, not just a scorecard.
The core idea being that money's real value is in how effectively you convert it into life satisfaction.
And doing that conversion strategically throughout your life is crucial.
So, quick recap of the key takeaways.
Okay? 1, your capacity to enjoy money, your life energy, changes over time. Don't wait too long.
2,
Experiences generally bring more lasting happiness than buying stuff. Focus on the experiences.
3, some experiences are incredibly time-sensitive. You can't put them all off.
4, strategic spending across your whole life beats maximum accumulation at the end.
5, giving while living often benefits everyone more than waiting until death.
And 6, crucially, this is about optimization and intention, not about being reckless.
Got it. So, for you listening, here's a quick action plan for this week.
Okay, challenge time.
1. List your top 10 experiences you absolutely want to have before you die. Just get them down.
2, look at that list. Which ones are time sensitive? Which depend heavily on your health or the age of others?
3. Try to estimate your die with zero trajectory. When might your net worth peak based on your current path? Be honest.
4, pick one meaningful experience you've been putting off, maybe because of cost. What would it actually take to make it happen sooner rather than later?
And 5, talk about this. Discuss this philosophy with your partner or your family. See what they think.
Remember, this isn't about ditching financial responsibility. Not at all.
It's a balanced approach. You can still save, have emergency funds, be prudent,
while also intentionally investing in those experiences and memories that make life rich.
It really brings us back to that profound final question from the book.
Yeah. When you're on your deathbed, what's truly going to matter more?
The number in your final bank statement.
Or the richness, the depth, the sheer volume of your experiences and memories?
I think we all know the answer deep down.
We do, yet our actions often prioritize the bank account. Die with zero gives you, maybe, the permission and a practical framework to align your finances with what truly matters.
Because you can't take the money with you.
But you absolutely take the memories. Make sure you're creating enough of them while you still can.
So the ultimate goal isn't to die rich. It's to die with zero regrets. That's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.